In this lesson, we are going to focus on our posture. This class will move your spine in all directions. As your pregnancy progresses, you won't be able to do most of these exercises, so we're going to get our core muscles and posture as strong as possible before going into our second trimester. So to begin this class, take a deep breath, focus on your breathing, roll your shoulders back away from your ears, tuck your tailbone under so you don't have an arch here in your back. Take a deep breath and exhale and stretch to one side. Inhale back to the top and to the other side. Let's do a couple more of those just to get our core muscles and our spine loosened up. Remember, inhale, exhale. Don't forget to engage those lower pelvic floor muscles. Like you're zipping up the zipper to your pants. Hug that baby with your lower abdominal muscles and push all of that oxygen out of your lungs. Just as a recap, put your hands here, fingertips touching. Inhale until those fingers expand and come apart. Exhale, engage those lower pelvic floor muscles. One more breath. Now let's slowly move onto our back and we'll begin with the 100. There's a couple different variations of this exercise, just depending on where you are with your Pilates practice. Inhale to begin. Bring both legs up. We'll start with the simpler versions and move to the harder ones so you can see all of the variations. You know what your body is capable of. Nothing in Pilates should ever hurt or be uncomfortable. So focus on your body, focus on your breathing, and do whatever feels best. So inhale to prepare. Bring those legs up nice and slowly on an exhale to the tabletop position. Stretch those shoulders and hands down along your body. Inhale, roll up. And you're going to do 5 pumps with your hands on an inhale and 5 pumps with an exhale. If this is easy here in tabletop, you can stretch your legs out. Make sure you're focusing on your breathing. The 100 is usually the first exercise in any Pilates class because it focuses your mind on your breathing and on your body. If this is too much, go ahead, bring your knees back down. Or if it starts to hurt your neck and shoulders, you can roll those back down and just use your lower body. Like I said, several different versions of this exercise. Make sure if you're up here and your legs are stretched out, that you have that small grip underneath your waist and you're not arching. I'm terrible at counting, so that's probably about right. 5 breaths in, 5 breaths out until you get to 100. Now let's lay flat on your back again. Regain your nice posture. Lift your arms up over your head, shoulders away from your ears. And let's do a few roll-ups. On your inhale, to prepare, expand through your rib cage. And as you exhale, engage those lower core muscles and roll up. If it's difficult for you to get up, you can inhale here, hold on to your knees, and just go as far back as you can, and come back up. Again, several variations to each exercise. Do whatever is comfortable for your body. We don't want to overdo anything or make anything uncomfortable, especially during pregnancy. Inhale, and if it's comfortable, roll all the way back down one vertebrae at a time, just like you're picking up a string of pearls off of a dressing table. Same thing coming up here. And flex your feet. Nice big stretch. One vertebrae at a time over towards your toes, like you're rolling over a huge exercise ball. Inhale and set back up. Exhale, use those lower abdominal muscles and roll back down. Again, if it's too hard for you to get up, bend those knees. Exhale, use your hands to help you sit back up. Stretch those legs out, arms up, and like you're rolling over a huge exercise ball, stretch those legs up, and let's do 2 more. Nice big inhale to prepare. Engage those lower core muscles and sit up. Make sure you're moving one vertebrae at a time. Really focus on your breathing with each movement. Focus on your spine. Like I said, each vertebrae is a pearl that you're picking up off the dressing table, one vertebrae at a time. And last big stretch over and back up. Now we're going to work on a spine twist. Again, there's several variations to this. So if it's comfortable and you can sit up nice and straight, put your feet out straight in front of you, arms out to the side, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale into your chest. Exhale, use those lower abdominal muscles to twist sideways and back to the center. Inhale again, exhale, and back to the center. If that's too much on your shoulders and arms, or your shoulders are creeping up to your ears, you can put your hands in prayer position and still get the nice benefits of moving that spine, twisting that spine. This helps with spinal mobility. It helps with lung function and digestion. If it's too much for your legs or hamstrings to have them straight out, you can cross them here in front. Keep your hands in prayer or keep them out to the side and get some nice spinal twists. Make sure all of the movement is coming from your core. It's nice and controlled. And one more. And back to the center. All right, now we're going to work on a shoulder bridge, and then we're going to do a spine twist that is on the floor. So again, when you're pregnant, you don't want to move anything too quickly. So nice and slowly, come back to a laying down position on your mat. Find your nice, neutral, good posture position. Your feet should be about hip width apart. We don't want our knees in. We don't want them out too far. So make sure they're nice and even with your hips. Press your hands to the ground. You're going to inhale, push your tailbone towards your heels, and roll up one vertebrae at a time, not too far onto your neck. We don't want any pressure on your neck. Take a deep breath at the top. Push that tailbone towards your heels. Slowly come back down, one vertebrae at a time. And let's do one more. Push that tailbone away. Pretend like there's a tray of marbles sitting here on your pelvic bones. And you don't want those marbles to roll around. You want one vertebrae at a time. You don't want anything twisting like this. You want everything nice and straight. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. When you get to the top, squeeze those glutes. Get a nice spine stretch as you push your spine and your tailbone away from your shoulders. Let's do 2 more. Make sure you're breathing the whole time. Never hold your breath. Your body needs oxygen, and so does your baby when you're working out. All right, now we're gonna let one leg drop. Bring one leg up to tabletop position. Arms go out nice and tall, shoulders away from your ears. Keep those pelvic bones nice and flat. You have that tray of marbles resting on your pelvic bones. You're gonna inhale and only go as deep as comfortable. Look towards your hand and come back to the center. Let's do about 5 on each side. Some of you may go all the way to the floor. Some of you may not be able to go very far at all, which is totally fine. Do what's comfortable for you. Again, Pilates should never hurt. And stretch your leg back out. Inhale. Bring your second leg up to tabletop position, and let's go the other direction. Stretch over to the side. When you're doing this, try to keep your shoulders flat on the floor. You don't want anything to come up. Make sure you're using your pelvic floor muscles to control your movement. Exhale as you go over. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as you're coming back up. That way you're keeping your spine protected with those deep inner core muscles. And come back down. Let's sit back up, and we're going to do some side bends. Again, several variations for this. We'll start with some of the simpler ones and move into the more advanced. So you're going to put your hand here, straight under your shoulder, and you're going to come down and back up. Use your knee for support. Like I said, we're going to move our spine in every direction today, working on spinal flexibility and mobility, focusing on our breathing. And as our body is changing during our pregnancy, we want to make sure that those core muscles are supporting everything they need to support. If it's easy on your knee and you want to try something a little more challenging, move that top foot a little bit more towards the front, and you can come clear up to this position. Same thing, down, back up and stretch. If you do a couple this way, your arm gets tired or your shoulder starts coming up towards your ear, you can always move your knee back down. Now we're going to work on our stomachs. Again, a lot of these exercises you're only going to be able to do during your first trimester. As you get bigger and your baby's growing, you're not going to be able to lay on your stomach anymore. So let's get the spine nice and stretched out on our stomachs while we still can in our first trimester. I'm going to lay down here, and we're going to do what's called a double leg stretch. So you're going to lay down, put your arms behind you, nice deep breath in, exhale, and stretch those arms, bring up your chest nice and tall, squeeze those glutes, and back down. Then you're going to give 3 little kicks to stretch out those quads, and back down. Inhale, chest up nice and tall, stretch those arms down towards those heels, and back down. 3 little kicks. This will help if you're sitting at a computer all day. It'll help get those shoulders away from those ears, improve your posture, strengthen your back muscles. And let's do 2 more. 3 little kicks to stretch out those quads. Inhale, stretch those shoulders and that back. Exhale on the way down. And last one. Now we're going to move on to swimming. You're going to stretch your arms out in front of you. You want to squeeze your lower abdominal muscles, trying to even pull them off of the mat if possible. Stretch your toes towards the far wall and lift up your shoulders and keep those legs super straight. And just like you're swimming in a pool, little tiny movements. Engage those lower abdominal muscles. Keep that tummy off the ground if you can. And nice and slowly, sit back up. Come into a child's pose to stretch a little bit. And come back. Now we're going to do our other side. We want to keep things even. So we're going to do our side bends the other direction now. Place your hand directly under your shoulder. Sit one knee underneath you if you can't have both knees out. Nice stretch. And back down. Nice stretch up. Keep those shoulders and chest open. And back down. This one's easy. Out here like this. Stretch up and over your head. Try and keep your line of vision looking straight forward. One side will usually be easier than the other. I recommend doing these classes a couple of times before moving on, especially if you're new to Pilates. That way you learn the different formations, you increase your muscle strength and your understanding of the breathing. Now we're going to roll our spine out a little bit, start getting into our cool down. We're going to roll like a ball. So you're going to put your heels close to your glutes, grab hold of your ankles or grab hold of your shins, whatever feels comfortable. Sit up nice and straight, pick your heels up off the ground and roll backwards and roll back up. If you can balance here, try to do that. That'll work your lower core muscles. And we're going to get a nice little massage on our spine as we roll back and forth. We've bent our spine in each direction, so this is a great way to still work those lower abdominal muscles. Give your spine a little massage, stretch it out a little bit. Try to keep those heels at an even space from your glutes. Don't roll too far back. We don't want you to roll over too far on your neck. Keep those knees the same distance from your shoulders. Let's do one more. And back. All right, now we're going to come over into a box position. So shoulders directly over your wrists, knees about hip width apart. Engage those lower abdominal muscles. We don't want to bow in our back like this. We don't want to be hunched up like this. We want to be nice and even, good posture, using our abdominal muscles to support our spine. And we're going to come up and stretch and come back over. And other side, up and stretch and come through. Up and stretch, come back through. Giving our spine one more last stretch before we finish up our class. Keep those abdominal muscles engaged the entire time. We want to support our baby, support our spine. All right, now just sit back into child's pose. Take several deep breaths. Focus on your body, focus on your baby. You can stay in this position as long as you're comfortable.